This is part 9 in the 10-part series of the transformation of the Ibanez P60 by the Cochise Mod Shop. In this episode, I'm taking my high-speed buffer and I'm using a finish compound and trying to level out the areas that I had to touch up to cover the original screw holes for the tuners that came from the factory. And I know it's not a big thing, and some people say, man, you've already painted them black, just let it go. And, you know, sometimes it's these little things that give my guitars a little difference, you know, a little leg up on some of the competition. And if I can polish this up to a mirror finish, which is, if you can see right here, is what it is, it's just a better looking guitar. And I think my clients really appreciate that. Now I'm installing the Grover Imperial locking tuners into the headstock of the Ibanez PS60. Now these tuners were made by Grover in a flat black color, and of course I've gone through my dipping process to make them iridescent black, which I think is a great transition from the silver sparkle finish that we have on the PS60 guitar. You know, sometimes it's a little bit drab when you put basic hardware on a finish that has so much character that it kind of like swallows up the hardware and it doesn't look that great. Well, to alleviate that, I made sure that I've took it to another level, and as you can see, the colors just sparkle and pop off of this finish on the hardware. At this point, I'm drilling the holes to install the screws for the tuning machines, and for always a tedious process. No matter how many times I've done it over the years, I always think I'm just going to screw straight through to the other side of the headstock, but I never do. But it's kind of like when I change strings, I always think the high E string is going to pop and take my eye out. And I've changed strings for over 50 years and it's never happened, but I always think it is. So you know, it's just a phobia that I have, and luckily it never comes to fruition. So right now we're installing the screws, and then we'll have to adjust the bezels and the mounting bolts for these tuning machines, and that's an adjustment that we'll do on the other side of the headstock. But I'm really happy with the finish, and I think they look spectacular for this type of guitar. This is a wild guitar. It's not a acoustic or classical guitar or something like that. This is something you really want to stand out. Everything has been color-coded to make sure that we have consistency with our hardware. So, as you can see here, I'm just tightening up the tuning machines. And that's the end of that installation. And that's the end of this episode. So, one more to go. And we hope you join us for episode 10 in the modification of the Ibanez PS60 from the Cochise Mod Shop.